Hello, Fantastic Beasts fans. Today's video is a bit different. Instead of telling you a theory, I'm going to share a story. But don't worry, the clues and theory are still within. I'm Susan Chappell with Fantastic Secrets Behind Fantastic Beasts to bring you the clues. Join me and other Fantastic Beasts fans here on the Beast Chaser Forum as we uncover the secrets, discover what's coming first, and play along with Rowling's newest game. And make sure you hit the subscribe button as well as the bell notification so you'll be notified when videos post and won't miss out on the next clues. As I'm noting in every video now, with the richness of detail that has been released, there may be spoilers ahead. In this one, I'm guessing at the very final twist at the end of the film. So proceed here and in the comments below with extreme caution. Also, don't click away before the end of the video because I'm giving away a Funko Pop Matagot cat. If you didn't want the spoiler of watching the last video, you won't want to watch this one either. And I fully admit, there's just as much fanfic to come as there is theory. I'm revising yesterday's theory already and completely discarding the one about the teacher at Hogwarts being a Lestrange. But I hope you'll like this new version. Here is how our first and second trailers started out. Ah, Hogwarts. This must be a welcome home scene early in the film for the nostalgia of the fans, right? Wrong. Let me tell you a story about the Crimes of Grindelwald, but instead of Newt as our hero, we're looking through the eyes of Leta Lestrange. Something happened years ago at Hogwarts, something that Leta did, but Newt took the blame for, and nearly got expelled. If it hadn't been for the universally adored Professor, Albus Dumbledore. Wonder why he spoke so fondly of Newt. Surely because he knew what happened. And who was truly to blame? Years later, Leta has left Hogwarts and is working as an assistant for Torquil Travers at the Ministry of Magic. She thinks she's put her past behind her, but she has only to walk into a room for it to dissolve into whispers behind her back. And her biggest regret? The truth she has hidden for years, the one she still hides, the family secret that Newt covered up at his own cost. And now he's soon to be her brother-in-law. Newt has come home after a long journey around the world, and she must face her history and her own hidden demons. When she's forced to return to the school that was home to some of her greatest torment, how the kids teased her. She must face these demons again. But has she changed? Vividly she remembers the lessons of the professor she so admired, who'd been like a father to her in place of the one she'd long lost, until that day. Professor Dumbledore had helped her learn to confront her fears until she let him down, and he looked at her for the first time through disappointed eyes. Now, those blue eyes minus their sparkles seem to follow her every move as she roams the halls of Hogwarts, searching for the Mirror of Erised. Another tool the professor used for teaching defense against the dark arts. Face your fears with the Bogart, he said, but know what motivates you and what others can use to control you by looking into the mirror. A lesson where he'd carefully kept himself behind it. To offer them privacy, he'd said. She'd run from the classroom, hiding from the Bogart, unable to face her friends, seeing it turn into her own self as she truly was inside. Her own worst monster. Leta knew her fears well. She lived with it every day of her life. The monster that lurked within and threatened to break free. The reason she'd been sent from her childhood home and separated from her family and younger half-brother, who probably didn't even remember her. The deformity that marked her as one of the powerful, pure-blood Lestranges, but caused the others to laugh at her. So she covered her hand whenever possible at school, until she was old enough to get it magically corrected. Leta finds the mirror in a classroom and gazes into it, seeking reassurance, to see that she has changed. She's a professional woman now, no longer a frightened child. Surely she has conquered her younger fears. But the images of that day stare back at her, not the images of what actually happened, her running in fright from the tragedy she'd caused, but the longing, the desire of what she wished so much she'd done instead. Seeing herself looking out the window to the students running below, she races to join them. Then,
diving into the lake to rescue her fellow student and friend, reaching out to save her, reaching with her 4 deformed fingers, no longer afraid, no longer hiding. Her greatest desire, that she'd acted bravely to save those she'd harmed. Someone moves outside the classroom. Leta blinks, turns from the mirror. Dumbledore has found her. The flip side of desire is regret, he says. Longing to change what you can never forget can haunt your future. Trust me. He leaves, and Leta gazes back at the mirror. But it's no longer reflecting the past. She's sitting in the classroom, one much like she'd hoped to teach in. But when she'd been turned down for the position of her dreams, she knew Dumbledore had been behind it. And now books and the crazy tools of her mentor fill the cases, some of which he'd used to teach them alchemy, the secrets of fire and dilution, burning away the chaff to transform into a more refined substance, searching that blood-red stone of the phoenix that all alchemists sought, the color of courage. But wearing it, even now, gives her none. Outside Hogwarts, the world is changing, darkening. Grindelwald has escaped and headed for Paris, the home she'd long left behind. Her fiancé has been tasked with tracking down and arresting his younger brother and her old friend, under suspicion that Newt is acting against ministry orders and in partnership with Professor Dumbledore. The professor who still looks her without suspicion is under suspicion himself. And Newt, he was always Dumbledore's favored student, especially since that day. Fear rises in Leta's chest at what Newt could reveal to her fiancé, the secret she keeps so tightly locked away. She flees to Paris, seeking answers herself, whispers from her childhood she can no longer ignore, and finds her old friend Newt and his American girlfriend seeking out the same. Seems they know a bit about the brother she can barely remember, but Tina has tracked him to Paris, to a circus that he's now escaped from. Danger is creeping up on them both, but to save herself, to save them all, she must find and unlock the family secrets. She seeks first with Newt and Tina in the family archives of the French ministry, and finds a key. But in the chase that follows, leaves her hat behind. A giveaway to her fiancé, she has been there, and the opening of a wound of betrayal between them. The key leads them to the Lestrange mausoleum in the center of Paris, to a ceremony where Grindelwald confronts her openly and publicly with the truth of her heritage, with the prophecy which has haunted her life. The prophecy demands that she join him, he says, she and her brother, where her powers can be fulfilled, transformed and liberated. Indeed, Credence and Leta's combined powers will be his biggest weapon to free the wizarding world from the oppression of the Muggles. Her newly discovered brother steps into Grindelwald's ring of fire. He does not wish to, but he seeks to protect the Snake Woman, his only friend, Nagini. Tina said he protected his younger adopted sister from this same man so few months ago. Perhaps, he thinks, the truth Grindelwald offers will free them all from their monstrous burdens. And how Leta longs to believe. But Dumbledore's warning echoes in her head, and she sees the truth in Grindelwald's face. How well she knows there is no freedom when others are imperiled. Leta looks across the room, to her friend she'd betrayed out of her fears, to her fiancé staring at her in disbelief. She will not let them down again. She moves to choose her own fate, not follow some stupid prophecy. She shoots at Grindelwald, but he brushes her spell off as easily as swatting a gnat. And then he releases an even more monstrous spell, a demon erupting from hell, which chases everyone else out of the amphitheater, fleeing for their lives. As chaos spreads in the graveyard above, the shouts and tormented screams of her friends battling for their lives helps Leta break fully through her fears and regret. Her monster explodes, and she soars on mighty wings to the battle above, wings no longer black. But the dragon Grindelwald has unleashed is supernaturally powerful. They're losing ground. Leta quickly makes a decision and gathers up those still fighting, amazed she can carry them all upon her spread wings, until she remembers Professor Dumbledore's lesson. A phoenix can carry immensely heavy loads. She instinctively travels home. Never have the grounds of Hogwarts looked so welcoming to her as the moment she crests the mountain, the sun rising and shining its light fully upon the old castle. She deposits her friends safely on the bridge at the edge of the Hogwarts protection and soars up in the air, higher, freer than she's ever been before. Looking down, she sees her old professor coming to meet the group of survivors. Professor Dumbledore glances up at her, and with her sharp phoenix eye, she catches the twinkle in those blue ones as he touches the tip of his fingers to his hat in a silent salute. Lighter than ever before, she soars into the clouds, absorbing the warmth of the sun on her blood-red wings. So with story time over, here are some final thoughts. On Wednesday, when I was putting together my Dumbledore's a Phoenix Animagus theory, I did thoroughly consider Leta being the Phoenix instead. I mean, it would fit with all her bird imagery, in a way. What stopped me, and what still gives me pause, is the Phoenix symbol clearly posted on Dumbledore's character poster. Also, in alchemy, the crow symbolizes the beginning of the great work, the Phoenix, the end. I felt it would be a stretch for Leta to go from beginning to end in one go, but maybe there's more we're not seeing yet. My theories always come in stages. I can usually sense the general direction at first, but then, as I've had more time for thought and research, and new information emerges, I sharpen and revise, as you can tell by my multiple versions of several of my theories. Seeing many of you comment that you also thought it might be Leta as the Phoenix helped sharpen this one. So while I'm convinced we'll see a Phoenix gather up the survivors and deposit them at Hogwarts, I still wonder if it is Leta or Dumbledore. I could go either way. The Phoenix is in Dumbledore's poster after all, but the man on the bridge farther away coming to meet them seems to be Dumbledore and is viewed from a rising cloud-high perspective.
So, what do you think? Did Leta look into the Mirror of Erised herself? And do you think she might be the Phoenix instead of Dumbledore? Also, were you able to sort out all the theories buried within? I'll answer as many questions as I can in the comments to clear up any confusion. Please share your own theories as well. Also, please check out my new fan shop on Amazon for the Matagot cat I'm about to give away, as well as books and Funko Pops and wands and all things Fantastic Beasts. To celebrate our last trailer, I'm giving away this awesome Matagot Funko Pop to one of this channel's subscribers. The Matagot is special to me because, in contrast to Nagini, it's one of my favorite theories I got right. Entry is simple. All you have to do is subscribe, click the bell notification, and comment on the video below. That's it. Anyone around the world can enter, though be aware that it may take longer for the Matagot to find his way home to you. The deadline for entry is October 14th, 2018. For a description of the Matagot and a full list of how this giveaway will work, see the description box below.